Now, for more on China's luxury market, I'm joined by David Bell, live from New York. He's Professor of Marketing at the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on. Good to be here.
Now, certainly, you're already in one of the shopping capitals of the world. So why are more luxury brands choosing the e-commerce path?
Well, I think if you look, Raquel, all of commerce is really going online. I mean, everything from shoes now to groceries to apparel, handbags, you name it. The trends are all, online, online, online. So it was only a matter of time, I think, before luxury really started to embrace that trend.
Now, groceries are one thing, but isn't some of the appeal of luxury shopping to really touch it, feel it, get the
Sure.
VIP treatment? How can that experience be adapted for the online shopping experience?
Yeah, that's a great question. In fact, one of the biggest problems with online penetration on e-commerce in terms of luxury is that people do want that experience. They want the tactile touch and feel, and that's very hard to replicate online. But I think as we get used to buying more mundane products online, like our shoes, our socks, our t-shirts, and as the technology improves, we become more facile. It's only a matter of time until the luxury experience kind of gets better and we get more willing to do that.
Now, when people think of luxury shopping, you think of these big shopping bags, you get to stroll down the street with them, but if it's just being delivered to your house, how likely is this shift to affect the brand value?
Well, that's an interesting question too, because you don't want to detract too much from all the experiential components, the beautiful stores, the great service that allow luxury to have that price. At the same time, customers also want convenience. So as we saw recently, Farfetch.com is now in China, an investment of almost $400 million from JD. The shirt I'm wearing tonight, I actually bought from Farfetch. So I really have no problem as long as I can view the product and I like the delivery. For me, it's as much about the product and the ease of experience as it is about an in-store interaction that I might also like to have.
Now, as you mentioned, one of the reasons these companies are going online now is to boost the bottom line. So how will going online boost sales of luxury goods versus, say, brick and mortar stores where salespeople can upsell you on other products on the spot and then you just get to buy them right there and then?
Well, I think what's interesting is we're learning that the online and the offline channels can actually be complementary. So I think the early view of e-commerce was that online was detrimental to offline and the two would compete with each other. But we're seeing now particularly leading digital native brands like here in New York City, Warby Parker, they have some of the best stores, even though they were a digital-first e-commerce brand. So I think we're learning that these two things can be complementary, and sometimes the customer might want to come offline for that great experience, and then he or she might sometimes want to purchase online. So as long as the store format is of the right size and has a great customer engagement and an experience, those two things are potentially complementary.
Now let's look at some of the costs. We know that the same luxury bag can be priced differently in physical stores depending on which country you're in, which is why you see some shoppers really traveling abroad if they think they can get a better deal. Does e-commerce level the playing field when it comes to global consumers?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. Price integrity is always an issue. And as you mentioned, sometimes there were arbitrage opportunities in the past where you could travel and get things more cheaply. In fact, we see in China, a lot of the luxury e-commerce sales now are coming in second and third tier cities proportionally, where people have less access to offline stores. I think one of the key things is maintaining the integrity of the product, that it's not a fake product, that it's a real product, and not allowing for that kind of price erosion that's really then going to be a great detriment to the offline environment.
And speaking of that, the problem of counterfeit goods, it already exists a lot in e-commerce. So how can luxury brands really tackle that more effectively as they turn to e-commerce?
Well, I think if you've got some leading players getting involved, like Louis Vuitton, we know Saint Laurent is getting in there early. Also the platform Farfetch.com, and I think as customers get more wealthy and more affluent, there's probably more of a demand for the product that's actually authentic. So if I'm a customer in China and I know that by going to Farfetch, the product that I get from Saint Laurent is the real authentic product, I think that will create its own momentum and its own drive for the authentic product as opposed to the counterfeit product.
So given some of the pros and cons, just quickly, how much market potential do you see in the luxury e-commerce market in China?
Oh, I see massive upside there because we're starting at a very, very low base. We know that about 1/3 of global luxury sales are going to customers from China, but a very small proportion of that at the moment is bought inside China, either offline or online. So just looking at the upside for growth, we've got a long way to go. And of course, there's the increasing affluence of the Chinese consumer. You put those two things together, and I think it's a great opportunity for luxury e-commerce.
Well, thank you so much for your insights, David Bell, Marketing Professor at the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School.